Elsewhere, Canada launched its vaccination campaign this past Monday with senior citizens and frontline healthcare workers among the first to receive Pfizer's COVID-19 shots. Now, for more on this, I have Professor Raywat Deonandan at the University of Ottawa live on the line. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
Professor, Canada, along with the US, joins the UK as the first Western countries to inoculate their populations. Could you tell us a bit about the priority groups for the vaccination over in Canada?
Well, first, Canada is a very big country with a federal government in 10 provinces and 3 territories. So the federal government has bought the vaccine doses, but the provinces decide where they go. And in general, they're doing it by risk of death, risk of infection, risk of exposure. Most of them are doing it this way, with healthcare workers first and then long-term care residents second. That's going to take a few months. So for the average citizen, we won't get it probably until spring.
I understand Canada has secured sufficient doses for its people. Do tell us more about this and also about the vaccine distribution plan, please.
Well, we've ordered over 400 million doses from a variety of manufacturers. And that's more than 10 doses per person, more than we need. And we've paid about $1 billion to get all of them. But they're going to be offered free of charge to all the citizens. But just because we've ordered them doesn't mean we're going to get them anytime soon. We've only licensed one manufacturer, that's the Pfizer formulation. We'll probably license Moderna soon. So I think we've ordered about 20 million Pfizer doses total. We'll get about 250,000 by the end of this year. And we've ordered another 56 million of the Moderna doses. And we'll get maybe 100,000, 200,000 by the end of this year. It'll be interesting to see when the other doses arrive next year.
Right. Professor, what has been the public response to the vaccination campaign?
Well, that's a very important question. So survey data suggests about 60% of Canadians are willing to take the vaccine right away, given the safety data, but we'll need about 70% to get to herd immunity. So at some point, we're going to run into vaccine hesitancy, and a lot of people are scared of the side effects. So what we have to do is be very sensitive and transparent about the risks and benefits of this disease. And there are a lot of unknowns still, particularly the long-term safety, how long immunity will last, and whether the vaccine actually stops transmission and not just removes symptoms. So the public is concerned about those questions.
And are there any efforts on the government level to deal with these concerns, Professor, at the moment?
Well, yes. The communications deployment is a very important thing that we're thinking about. It's not clear what we're going to do about it, but everyone's talking about it. So deploying websites, communication tools, trying to assuage the public as much as we can about the safety elements of the vaccine.
Professor, as a health professional yourself, what are your general words of advice with regard to vaccines for COVID-19?
Keep in mind, it hasn't been tested on some populations yet. So children, pregnant women, people with autoimmune diseases. So we're not going to be inoculating any of those populations anytime soon. And most of the vaccines need at least 2 doses, 3 weeks apart. And the Pfizer dose in particular has to be stored at a very low temperature. So that makes logistics, transportation very, very difficult. Also, a very high percentage of people are going to have some adverse reactions, like some pain, some fever, fatigue, and that can be scary, especially when it's done twice on the second dose. So be prepared for some discomfort. Remember, everything has some risk associated with it, everything. But the important thing is weighing the risks versus the benefits. And from my point of view, the risks for these vaccines is low and the benefits are extremely high.
All right, Professor Deonandan, thank you very much for making the time to join us live at this hour with your thoughts.
Thank you very much.